Okay, so if you've been keeping an eye on luxury real estate, especially in places like Miami, you've definitely seen all the buzz about these huge new towers going up.
Oh yeah, it's hard to miss.
But there's one listing that really caught our attention and sparked some pretty strong expert reactions. It's the $35 million Aston Martin penthouse in Brickell.
Right, that's the one. I mean, that price tag alone just makes you stop and think, okay, what are you really getting for $35 million?
Yeah.
Especially in a branded building like that with
Well,
all the hype.
exactly. What kind of incredible luxury does that buy? But maybe more interestingly, what surprising things might be lurking behind the glossy brochures?
That's what we wanted to dig into here. Our mission for this deep dive is really to peel back those layers, look past the hype around this specific, very high-profile penthouse in Brickell.
Yeah, and we're going to share some expert analysis that, well, it doesn't really hold back. It challenges how we usually think about luxury and value in today's market.
Because it's not just about this one apartment, is it? It kind of shines a light on a bigger trend, maybe even a slightly worrying one in high-end building development.
Absolutely. So, Miami Brickell.
Hmm.
It's been an absolute construction zone, right?
Totally. An explosion of new high-rises,
Hmm.
massive publicity, brands, like Aston Martin putting their names on these towers. It really feels like a frenzy. So many new units hitting the market.
It does, cranes everywhere, but the analysis we've seen paints a, well, harsher picture. It calls the Miami penthouse market right now crazy, crazy, crazy bubble activity.
Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, and listen to this. They said, if you didn't live through the 2008 crash, you might think things are bad now, but for this specific part of the market, it's actually considered way worse.
Way worse than 2008.
Yeah.
That's a serious statement,
Hmm.
especially given what happened then.
It really is. And a big part of it is just the sheer amount of inventory flooding the market.
A massive amount.
Yeah.
And it's happening just as interest rates are climbing, right?
Yeah.
Plus, there's all this talk about a recession. Maybe we're in one, maybe we're heading into one.
So the timing is not great. That economic background makes that bubble warning feel even more real, more urgent.
Definitely.
So what's the bottom line then? For anyone maybe possibly thinking about buying in Miami right now, what's the takeaway from this warning?
Look, the clear message from people who really track this stuff is don't buy condos or penthouses in Miami right now.
Yeah.
Especially not the luxury ones in Brickell. Just don't.
Don't.
Pretty much. And to show you why, let's really unpack this specific property, the Aston Martin penthouse. Okay, so it's 5 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms.
8 bathrooms.
Yeah. Almost 10,000 square feet. And that asking price, again, $35 million. It just sounds unreal at first.
It really does. But as we got into the specifics, that shock kind of shifted. The first thing that really jumped out design-wise was, well, how white everything was.
Oh, white, yes. White floors, white walls, white ceilings, just white everywhere.
Yeah.
And the critique was pretty sharp on that. Called it uninspired, lacking character, bleached out.
Bleached out, yeah. And someone even compared it to, like, older Miami designs from the 70s or 80s.
Exactly. Or even, and this is pretty blunt, a mental hospital, which immediately makes you ask, okay, where's the Aston Martin influence here? This super prestigious luxury brand.
Right. Where's the leather, the wood, the curves?
Precisely. The criticism is basically that it's just slapping a logo on a generic white box. There's none of the brand's actual heritage, the fabrics, the design language, nothing that feels uniquely Aston Martin.
Just the name on the building.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you see this elsewhere, too, this sort of brand dilution in luxury buildings globally. The name doesn't always match the actual design quality inside.
Interesting. Okay, so it wasn't just the color. The layout itself got some flack, too. Described as horrible and disconnected.
Yeah, horrible in this, which is the opposite of what you expect, right?
Yeah.
Especially at this price. You want modern, open, flowing.
Yeah.
But instead, you find these, really long, narrow central hallways. One expert even compared it to a barrack, or maybe a college dormitory.
A college dorm for $35 million.
Yeah, not exactly the vibe you're going for in ultra-luxury. And another thing, the master suite. It's completely separate from the rest of the apartment, totally disconnected, even from where kids' rooms might be. Very strange layout.
That is odd. Okay, what about outside space? Balconies, they're wraparound, right? It sounds good.
It sounds good. But the criticism is they're really shallow, about 5 or 6 feet deep, which basically makes them pointless for actual use. You can't really fit, say, 2 chairs and a little table comfortably. They're more like walkways.
Just walkways. So not really functional outdoor living space.
Not really, no. And speaking of outdoor stuff, the private pool, that got some really harsh feedback.
Oh, Oh, what was wrong with the pool?
Well, it was called the most uninspiring pool. It's sort of raised like an above-ground pool almost.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and it has a weird-ass freaking shape.
Yeah.
Someone said it looked like it was for an animal.
Reef paws for an animal. Seriously?
Seriously, or maybe something you'd find at a, quote, retirement home.
Wow, okay. That's quite the image for a luxury penthouse pool.
It is. And apparently it doesn't get direct sun.
Yeah.
And you can't really see it well from inside because there's a raised wall blocking the view.
Mm-hmm.
Even the tiles around the pool on the balcony were called out for poor craftsmanship. Again, compared to, like, little white ceramic tiles from a retirement home.
Yikes. Okay, but the views must be incredible, right? 57th floor?
Well, yes and no. You're high up, you see the city, the ocean, other buildings, boats, sure, broad views. But the argument is when you're that high, like 80 or 90% of what you're looking at is just sky.
Ah, okay. Sky is sky.
Right. You can see sky from anywhere. The preference, according to this critique, would be actually lower down. Maybe 20th, 30th floor.
Really? Low?
Yeah, where you get an unobstructed view, but you can actually see more action. You know, the water, the boats moving, the landscaping, maybe some islands.
Yeah.
More detail.
Okay, that makes sense. So the 57th floor view, despite being high, only got rated a 7 out of 10.
A 7, exactly. So moving inside again, the kitchen.
Oh boy, the kitchen.
Yeah.
What was the verdict there, given the rest of it?
Blunt. It was described as cheap, cheap, cheap.
Cheap. 3 times.
Yep. All white, black countertop.
Mm.
Called embarrassing. Again, likened to a mental hospital or something designed like 10 or 20 years ago.
So really dated and basic feeling.
Totally. Cheap in appearance, zero character. The assessment was it needs a full gut renovation immediately.
A gut renovation on a brand new $35 million penthouse kitchen.
Wow. What specifically makes it feel so cheap? Like the materials, the appliances?
Yeah, the whole package. The stark colors, sure, but also the cabinetry feels standard. The appliances aren't necessarily that top-tier integrated look you'd expect, the countertop choice. It all feels very builder grade.
Not bespoke or high-end custom stuff. Not at all. You'd expect, I don't know, gag nail appliances, custom cabinets, maybe some amazing stone. This felt like, yeah, maybe a mid-range condo kitchen.
Right.
Plus the layout was odd too. Weird seating, no proper breakfast nook, just a white box.
Just a white box. Okay. What about other spaces like utility rooms, storage?
Yeah, more concerns there. What's supposed to be the pantry apparently looks more like a basic laundry setup with the sink and dishwasher just sort of there.
Okay.
And then the actual main laundry room is huge, but looks kind of like another kitchen. And had visible wires, no proper cabinetry around the machines. Just confusing. A lack of intuitive flow in those working spaces.
It sounds like the whole place feels a bit disjointed, poorly thought out.
And that's exactly the sense you get. Disjointed.
And the bedrooms and bathrooms? Did they continue the all-white theme?
Pretty much. The junior suites, okay, they have decent size, good ceiling height, 11 feet, called acceptable, but not ultra luxury.
Acceptable isn't exactly a rave review.
No. And yeah, the bathrooms, all white again, also called embarrassing. And here's a big one. No built-out closets.
What? No built-out closets in either the guest rooms or the master?
Nope, just empty space, basically.
Yeah.
Which, for $35 million, was flagged as a real sign of bubble territory, cutting corners on absolute basics for luxury.
That's surprising. What about the master closet space itself?
It's there, but apparently quite narrow. Too narrow to put an island in the middle, even though there might technically be room. Just not well designed.
Okay. But the master bathroom had some cool features, didn't it? I read something about that.
It did, yeah. That was maybe a highlight. It has this insane soaking tub with jets. And then, get this, 2 walk-in showers. One has a steam room,
Nice.
and the other one has a dry sauna.
A sauna in the shower stall.
Apparently, yeah. Both with amazing views, so
Yeah.
some wow factor there. But even in the master bath, the critique mentioned inconsistent tile work. Little details. You know.
Right. The overall attention to quality just wasn't quite there, even with the flashy features. So, okay, stepping back from this specific, somewhat disappointing penthouse, the broader market outlook in Miami, that's where the real caution comes in. Right?
That's the bigger picture, yeah. And the main issue, like we touched on, is this huge amount of inventory. So many new units are coming online in Brickell. And the key thing is they're just sitting there. They're not selling quickly.
So supply is high, demand isn't keeping up?
Precisely. And what's really interesting is the data analysis being used now. We looked at insights from this predictive tool. It crunches like 30 years of market data, supply, demand, interest rate forecasts. It's very sophisticated. AI-driven
It
style.
goes beyond just gut feelings about the market.
Way beyond. It's algorithmic. It analyzes the fundamental mechanics.
Okay, so what does this data-heavy model predict for Brickell? That's zip code 33131, right?
Yeah, 33131. The prediction is, well, that it's going to suck. That was the word used.
It's going to suck.
With 95% confidence.
90% confidence it's going to suck. Okay, that's pretty clear.
Yes, it is. And you have to remember Miami's history, right? It's known for massive swings in property value, some of the biggest fluctuations in the U.S. When Miami drops,
It drops hard.
it comes down heavy. So thinking back to 2008, combined with this data, the advice is crystal clear. Do not buy these luxury penthouses, not in Brickell, not in Miami generally, right now.
The recommendation is just wait.
Wait. Wait for better deals, because prices are very, very likely coming down.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We've taken a deep dive into this $35 million Aston Martin penthouse.
Yeah, and found, well, quite a few surprises. That overwhelming white design, the kind of horrible layout, those pointless balconies, that memorable pool.
Cuckle softly. The animal pool, yeah. And a real disconnect between the fancy brand name and the actual quality and design you get inside. Seems like a wider issue, maybe.
Definitely feels like it. It's not just about this one unit.
And all of this is happening while the Brickell market itself looks pretty shaky. Tons of inventory, rising rates, and this really strong data-backed forecast saying things are likely heading down.
Making it a really, really risky time to jump into that high-end market there.
So it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? This whole trend of luxury brands moving into real estate, how much value are you actually paying for in the design and the quality?
Right. Versus how much is just for the logo on the building. What does that tell us about what people really value in a home? Or maybe just in a brand name? And what does it mean for the wider property market going forward?
Something to think about.